The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Alabama Politics This Week. I am Dale Jackson, and I'm a radio talk show host, believe it or not, but my voice is fried, so I need to apologize for it, much like I probably should all the time, but more so today. With me, as always, Mecca Musick. She is the CEO of 256today.com. Smart news for smart people. Smart enough to know that no, you can't get off the naughty list this late. We got a lot to get into. Reynolds will be here with us. He's a state representative. And some of us will be professional. Some of us
just whisper and we'll have the mic turned up.
So it's time to get to it. Let's do it. Let's get to the 2-minute warning. Sometimes life is hard and you just power through it. Alabama Democrats are trying to figure that out, and we'll see if they understand it. Because for some reason, unemployed or semi-employed journalists across this state are reveling in the idea that the Democrats are back. Did you hear? Doug Jones, who lost by like 20 points to Tommy Tuberville, is going to take on a much more popular and well-funded Tommy Tuberville. So he's probably going to win, right? And then for Ag Commissioner, they're also very excited because a guy who lost to Kay Ivey 10 years ago is running for that. Oh, and it gets better. For Lieutenant Governor, they're going to run a guy who couldn't hold on to his seat in Dothan, Philip Insler. So he's going to run for Lieutenant Governor. And surely this is when the Democrats return to prominence in power in Alabama. A few more calls of you're racist or telling you to trans your kids, and they're going to get there, guys. Mecca, unlike me, are they alive? Are they alive?
This is so funny. Okay, so you were talking about Ron Sparks, former Ag Commissioner,
yes.
correct?
Oh,
okay.
You're telling me they didn't know?
Well,
they
you
didn't
need to
know
say
Ron
it.
Sparks?
You need to say it. You know, how I am.
I assume they all do because it's such a big deal.
Okay, so the question is, are they alive? I would say yes. I would say yes. So, and also, they're filling out the ballot. Now, filling out the ballot helps in any of these competitive races. Let's talk about House District 10, Maryland Lance. This helps. We have talked about Doug Jones nearly every week now since this has come back up.
To call him a clown and a loser. So yes, we have talked about it.
Listen though,
We've also talked about Epstein a lot.
This energizes the voting base, and I think it can be argued these are, somewhat viable candidates.
You're right. Ron Sparks is really going to get people excited, and Philip Insler too. I can't wait. Look, we hear this every single election cycle, and we always go, are they alive? Let me help you out here. Let's cut to the end. No. It's a blowout.
No. Will this mean like widespread Democratic victories? No. I don't think so, but I think they're going to have a bigger turnout this year.
It's a blowout at the top, and it trickles its way down the ballot.
All right, we're going to see.
Moving on. Let's talk about the Clinton files. Now, you may be saying, what? I thought they were the Epstein files. Well, they might as well be called the Clinton files at this point, because we were told that eventually we were going to see the smoking gun that takes down Donald Trump. And so far, as of the recording of this, the only thing we've learned about these files is that there was a stack of pictures that had Donald Trump and his wife, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, all together in some photo on a desk. Then we learned that what we already knew, that there were flights, not to Epstein's Island, but flights where Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were on the same plane. But what we got were photos of the former president of the United States, Bill Clinton, with Ghislaine Maxwell in a pool with a woman with her face redacted. Bill Clinton sitting on a plane with a woman on his lap with her face redacted. Bill Clinton in a hot tub with a woman with her face redacted. And the media's like, hey, if Donald Trump was in these photos, then he's probably a pedophile child rapist. But Bill Clinton's in it, and they're like, that's kind of odd. No big deal there. Here's my question. They are the Clinton files now, until you show me something with Donald Trump. Did Hillary Clinton know where he was?
Oh,
Did Hillary Clinton know where he was? Because I'll just ask this question to myself. Is there ever a time since I've been married that I didn't know what continent or country my wife was in? I don't think that's true. I could probably pinpoint whatever state she's in at any time, too.
Well, that would be good.
Right.
That's a good thing, and I think most people would agree with you.
What if Trump was in the hot tub?
I don't know. That's not a serious question.
I know. It would be a 5-alarm fire, and people would be attacking the White House. That's what would be happening.
Okay, what I actually wanted to talk about on this topic was there I think is valid criticism that this has been handled so poorly.
I don't even care about that.
Oh.
No, I mean,
Okay, then.
I understand your criticism. It's been handled terribly.
Terribly.
Because it's
like who's running the show and who's making these calls?
Okay, but here again, I will remind you. So far, all we're complaining about is how it's been handled and that we haven't found the smoking gun. And we're pretending because of that's the smoking gun.
What if people aren't looking for a smoking gun? They just want the information, Dale.
For?
Perhaps you want the. I mean, I think I understand what you're saying.
This is only to find Trump. That's all it's about.
That's not true. I don't think that's completely true.
Why didn't Jasmine Crockett or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Joe Biden send a single tweet about it in the 4 years before Donald Trump got in the White House?
I mean, that's a very good question.
Yeah, because they don't actually care. It's all about Trump. I'm sorry.
I think I wasn't talking about them. I'm talking about actual people. They care.
They're being fed over and over and all by the media that this is a huge deal and Trump did something wrong. They want to know that.
I would say people on both sides would like. Okay.
I don't think this is a both sides issue, but yes.
I understand what you're saying as far as the framing in the media and things like that. I understand what you're saying as far as how the media is framing it and things like
if
that.
Donald Trump was in the hot tub, would people be calling Donald Trump a pedophile? Yeah, probably. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the West Alabama corridor. Is it worth it? There was a news article a couple weeks ago, maybe an opinion piece, asking if this could be rolled back. If they would actually do this US 43, Alabama 69, Alabama football to Mobile corridor, and if they could roll it back. And the question was asked, and the obvious answer here is probably not. They bonded out about $730 million on this. They've already borrowed the money. They're getting ready to break ground. They're going to do all this other stuff when there are far more valuable road projects across the state. Is it worth it? Probably not. But not a lot of people are talking about it at all. It's hard to get people to even have a conversation about it because they don't even know where US 43 is. And the fact that they don't even know where US 43 is probably tells you it's not that big of a deal. Is this worth it?
Okay, so obviously TOR and Ainsworth as well has also spoken out against this project. Now the premise is if you build this 4-lane highway, more economic development will follow. How do you feel about that statement?
Economic development is going to follow industry, and that's all that really matters. They might build a gas station or so around, but I mean maybe a Buc-ee's.
Well, if you drive from Montgomery to Mobile, that's 65. How much economic development is between those?
But it's not there because of the roads. Anything that's there, it's there because of the cities where they can put industry in the place they have it. The reason Huntsville's been so successful is because they gobble up land, they prepare it for industry, they provide it to industry, they provide tax incentives, and yes, it's near roads, but that's by happenstance. They didn't build the roads and then they come. It's the
exactly. And I talked to a developer just to get an insider's perspective on this, and he laughed.
Yeah, that's right. They're not going to come solely for the roads. There has to be more to it.
Okay, so then why is this project happening?
Because KIV wants it to.
Okay.
I mean, there's really no other. She's from that area.
Correct.
There's all that stuff. I mean, there's not. This look. It's either put your name on this or put your name on a prison. I mean, those are your options. So that's where I think we're at. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about subsidies. They're still discussing this. They're going to discuss it until I'm hoarse. The simple fact of the matter is they are unable to come to any agreement on these subsidies in the U.S. House on Obamacare because the simple fact of the matter is they were supposed to be temporary because of COVID. Do I have COVID? No, they're supposed to be temporary because of COVID. That is what they said they were for. Well, that emergency is over, even though it may not appear that it's over if you're watching or listening to this program. But that emergency is over, and they want to continue it because it will keep down the cost of health care because the Affordable Care Act was not affordable, and they don't care. And the fact of the matter is we look at this whole thing, and we have to ask ourselves, will they use it to buy votes? That's the only question you have to ask. Will the House get it done in order to buy votes? That's the question.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing, just to talk about, okay, let's say the House, Jeffries came out and said it's going to pass with bipartisan,
And they got a discharge petition. They can get it through.
Exactly. So here, what happens next?
Well, it'll give...
The Senate has already shot this down one time.
But when it comes in from the House with the subsidies, I think they will potentially take it up. I think it's a real possibility. And look, here's the beauty of the whole thing. Republicans are going to get hung on this regardless. They're going to tell them the healthcare costs went up because they didn't do anything with them, so they're going to nail them there.
This has been identified by Democrats as a very powerful...
Yes, give me free money. Republicans go, no, we're not going to. And
it's not just for free money, but think about it. In January, I mean, the healthcare costs are going to go up for millions of people. And this is going to be very, very powerful going into November.
And here's the thing. Healthcare costs are going to go up regardless. And they'll just blame Republicans for that. And again, Affordable Care Act did not work. And we're going to just continue trying to make it appear that it did by providing subsidy after subsidy after subsidy for it and giving it away for free.
So what's the plan?
Oh, the plan is to let it
But Republicans are going to be criticized for not putting forth a plan.
They're just going to have to roll with it. I mean, that's all they're going to have to do. They have a plan. They passed a plan in the House last week. But just because it can't pass the Senate, there's this idea that everyone says they don't have a plan, they have a plan. They just passed a plan. So they do have a plan. The plan is not to give free money, so therefore it's not good enough. And you laugh, Mecca, but I know you understand what I'm saying.
I do understand what you're saying.
But the plan for Democrats is we've broken this system, so we're going to continue to buy it.
But I think this is going to be an issue you see again and again. I mean, starting in January and heading up all the way to the elections.
We're out of time here, but listen to this. The Democrat philosophy on governance is as follows. We want to give you free stuff. And the Republican philosophy on government is like, how about half of that? and when they do that, the side that wants to give you all the free stuff wins. It's that simple in the argument of political and public opinion. All right, believe it or not, we will be back. Rex Reynolds will be with us. He's actually my state representative, so we'll talk with him next right here on Alabama Politics This Week.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Get the latest scoop on Bama straight from the coach's mouth. Stream the Kayla DeBoer Show anytime on Fox 54 Plus, live, local, and always on.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Scout Pest Control is your one-stop shop for pest control. We do it all, from rodents to mosquitoes, termites to bed bugs. We offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all our services. When you think pest control, think Scout. ScoutPestControl.com.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. Call the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. U.S. Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. U.S. Med. Better service. Better care.
At Elite Door Service, we're your local experts for all things garage doors, residential and commercial. Our licensed and insured team is led by a certified master technician. When it comes to garage doors, don't settle for average. Choose Elite Door Service.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia, and this is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing.
It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
Scout Pest Control is locally owned and operated. We offer superb customer service and can even clean up after pests. When you think pest control, think Scout. Call us at 256-216-1088 or visit scoutpestcontrol.com.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Extra anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics of This Week. I'm Dale Jackson.
And I'm Mecca Musick. Thank you, Dale. And this week we have Representative Rex Reynolds here with us, and I'm so excited. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Now, recently you were appointed by Governor Kay Ivey to the Rural Health Transformation Program Advisor Group.
Right.
This is a big deal, but tell me what it is.
Well, it is for all of our rural healthcare and our rural hospitals. It's much broader than just hospitals. But this group that she appointed, some legislators, some senators, some healthcare professionals. I know Jeff Sams, hospital CEO, is on that group. So we'll be an advisory board to ADECA. That's the structure we set up. We've been meeting every Friday for about the last 2 months, trying to get the application process ready. We've got, for lack of better words, tranches of funding related to everywhere from workforce to direct health care, EMS, transport, and just go on and on the different categories we have. So we've submitted that to CMS, to the federal government. We should hear back just any day now. They say they'll have it back by the end of the year. And so then when we go into session, we will appropriate that first $100 million to ADECA, and then they will go through the application process of those that submit their various thoughts about how they will deal with healthcare in their area.
So you've been studying this issue quite extensively. This isn't your first rodeo with the rural healthcare system. What are some of the biggest challenges rural healthcare in Alabama is currently facing?
Well, there's a lot of things. We've got to increase telemedicine. We did that some with the COVID dollars. Well, we think with this funding we can expand that even further. We've done a good job in Alabama expanding broadband. That's another area that we'll focus on this. And just physician recruitment. Again, EMS transport, there's just so many areas we've got to focus on.
Now, the legislative session gets underway. It's January, correct?
16th.
All right. I'm glad it's on your calendar.
It's election year. You got to start early.
Yeah.
So you start campaigning.
Exactly. So I was going to ask, what are your goals for the legislative session? This is a two-parter. And will anything get done in the session since it's an election year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think early on we thought, hey, this would be a kind of light session, but it seems like every day that you meet with somebody or talk to somebody, we've got real issues we're going to have to tackle. That's just the reality. We will be in and out fairly quick. We will not take 2 breaks. We'll only take 1 this time for a spring break. We may be out by 2nd, 3rd week of April. So pretty quick turnaround. As far as my goals, as being the general fund chair, I've got to get a conservative budget done this year. And so that'll be my number 1 effort. My number 2 will be the opioid commission work and be ready with a supplemental appropriation about $40 million there. And then 3rd, the rural health care. We've got to make sure we get that structure right. Year 1, because we'll have 5 years of that, $100 million a year. And then we've got an option on the second $100 million a year. It has some strings tied to it related to SNAP and into CON.
Let's talk a little bit about general fund, education trust fund too, tied to this. Sure. The online sales tax. The counties are fighting, or maybe there's going to be a fight between the counties, certain cities, and the AEA, the Education Trust Fund people, and all these other people. They want to redo the way the sales tax is allocated. Seems like this is going to be a pretty hard thing to do. You represent part of rural Madison County, and I got to believe that Madison County has probably a different perspective than the city of Huntsville has, so you're kind of split there. The online sales tax, will they be rejiggering how that is allocated?
I don't think you'll see that this session. That whole topic is very concerning. The counties would probably get hurt the worst out of this. You just don't know what a judge may do in this case. I agree with some of the things saying that we probably don't need to do tax policy, from the bench. So hopefully, I hope something will get worked out with this. The worst thing we can see with as strong as Alabama's economy is any kind of friction between our cities and our counties and our states and our schools, right? And we all need to be at the table.
Would you recommend it that a county, if they hadn't bonded out on future revenue on this, that they should probably do this to make the argument that they need the money? It's a pretty nefarious way of looking at it, but it would tie it up.
Well, it could tie it up, but then if this really went wrong,
Just put it in your pocket and hold on to it. It's a short-term loan.
And it took money away from the state, the cities, and the counties, and the schools, then we're not in a good place.
But this is going to be a real fight. It's coming down the line, whether it's this year or next year. That fight's coming. Does the mayoral cartel have the stroke to fight every county?
Versus the counties?
Versus the county.
Well, let me answer it like this. I've always been cautioned by our attorneys opening this bill up. I will tell you, since this lawsuit's been filed, I have been contacted by several organizations that's not currently getting money. Yeah. They're going to come after the money. And that will multiply as we get closer.
I love to hear this because that means the status quo is probably where it's going to stand, at least from y'all's perspective.
But they never thought SSUT would have got to what, a little over $900 million.
Right, it blew up.
$221 million in 2025 came to the general fund. It's huge.
Last question from me. Alabama corridor. Do you envision yourself driving from Mobile to Tuscaloosa for a football game?
I'm not sure exactly where that's at, but I just, in my conversations in Montgomery, I just focus on the needs of North Alabama. We have a workforce up here. The industries are coming here.
So about this, on a serious front,
yeah.
A lot of people are complaining about this.
Well, sure. Is
there a way to roll this back if it's decided we don't want it?
We have looked at that. I don't think there is a way that they've gone to the bond market. That's kind of moving forward. ALDOT gets what we call middle dollars. Therefore, we don't appropriate that annually. And so therefore, really, the legislature has no control over it. That's right.
All right, let me do one more quick question. We talked about this is an election year. You have announced you are running for re-election. Yep. What are you hearing from voters as you head into this next year?
Yeah, well, I think everybody's excited about the economy right now. I appreciate the fact at the national level they're really laying out the numbers and what the facts are. I'm glad the government's back open and we can talk about those numbers. And it's a direct correlation, particularly in the Huntsville-Madison County area with everything that's going on in D.C. with the Space Command coming here. There's a lot of other opportunities on the horizon that is going to continue to come to North Alabama. Again, we got a smart workforce up here. We got a technical workforce. And that's what I talk about all the time. They do talk about infrastructure and the need for more infrastructure as this goes on.
There we go. Rex Reynolds, thank you very much. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Mecca's leaving as well. She's got to put up the Christmas lights, so she will not be back, and the show will get so much better, unfortunately.
I doubt that. I doubt that this week.
Unfortunately, I will be back. So stay tuned. It's Alabama Politics this week.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Get the latest scoop on Bama straight from the coach's mouth. Stream the Kalen DeBoer Show anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Scout Pest Control is your one-stop shop for pest control. We do it all, from rodents to mosquitoes, termites to bed bugs. We offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all our services. When you think pest control, think Scout. ScoutPestControl.com.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solutions Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. Call the U.S. Med Diabetes Solutions Center to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. US Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. US Med. Better service. Better care.
At Elite Door Service, we're your local experts for all things garage doors, residential and commercial. Our licensed and insured team is led by a certified master technician. When it comes to garage doors, don't settle for average. Choose Elite Door Service.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. My friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
Scout Pest Control is locally owned and operated. We offer superb customer service and can even clean up after pests. When you think pest control, think Scout. Call us at 256-216-1088 or visit scoutpestcontrol.com.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Extra anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics This Week. I am Dale Jackson. You're probably wondering why, if you're listening on the radio, you're hearing RFK Jr. talking to you. So let me get into the parting shot in a second where we'll talk about some Maha stuff. But before I do that, remind you, go over to yellowhammernews.com, sign up for my email blast, the 7 things you should be talking about today, right there at yellowhammernews.com. All right, let's get to that parting shot. My party shot this week is directed at all the people who got mad at State Senator Arthur Orr out of Decatur, Alabama, who put on his Facebook page an image of some Godiva chocolates, $55 for 15 of them, that could be bought with SNAP cards. And a lot of people got very upset with him and said, well, people on food stamp need nice things too, which of course was not Senator Orr's point. His point was, if the government's paying for your food, maybe you shouldn't be buying expensive chocolates and junk food, which is a completely reasonable perspective that a vast majority of Americans agree with. But people still went to his page and left tons of nasty comments about how mean and racist and evil he was, when really all he was saying is, I think people have a problem with this happening. And then all these people got super mad, almost guaranteeing that he's going to act on it as a legislator. The simple fact is this: if you are receiving government resources to buy food, you should buy food that's going to last you a while, not unhealthy things that are going to harm you down the line. You should buy food that can help you and your family get through to the next moment where you get more government assistance. A completely reasonable thing for a state senator to say, and Senator Orr was right. The people attacking him were wrong. Have a Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year, and thank you very much for watching and listening to Alabama Politics This Week, and we'll talk to you soon.